Hey there, friend. It's Erica Gearing here live to tell you things that I have learned from multiple vendor fairs. You ready to chat vendor fairs? I am. I have done enough now, I feel like, to have a few under my belt that I would like to share with my team. So here we go. It's super scary to do your first vendor fair. So I want to tell you the first thing that you need to know is it all comes down to your mindset. If you don't have the proper mindset going into the vendor fair, it won't go good. The first vendor fair I did it's a journey, right? It's just a journey. But so a man thinketh, so is he. So if you think that you don't have value and you bring that to the table when you're standing there sharing about your oils, people aren't going to see a reason to listen to you. If you don't think you know what you're talking about, but you kind of do, then people are going to be like, they're going to feel that vibe. So instead, writing down some affirmations before you go into a vendor fair, like I am grounded, I am optimistic, I am radiant, I am people that want oils are going to fall into my lap. I'm serious. I say those things to myself to get myself going, to know, well, I try to say them daily to me, but for sure when I have a vendor fair coming up, I say that to myself because it just promotes the proper mindset. If you go into it negative or like, oh, this really sucks, the person like didn't market this event well, probably nobody's coming, probably shouldn't even have wasted my time, then it's going to come across that way. Okay, so make sure your mindset is in the right place before a vendor fair and as you go in. And of course, pray, right? Before you go in. And if you have team members that are doing it with you, ask them to join you and ask them, hey, what is your affirmation that you're saying over yourself? Like ask them because they might not even know that it would be good to have that. So say, hey, let's think of one. What do you think? So there you go. Prep. Let's talk about the prep. I have learned, this comes from Jordan. Jordan has a Rubbermaid tub, and she has everything she needs in there for a vendor fair. And eventually I could show you guys that if you want me to. It has pins, because you don't want to be without pins. It has a whole, like, I call it my MacGyver kit, because I forgot that the first couple times. The first couple times I didn't have anything like safety pins or like clamps or even rocks. If you're doing outside vendor fairs and maybe you don't have time or you can't find a rock, so maybe put one in your MacGyver kit that will hold things down, because we have lost a diffuser. Jordan lost a diffuser at one of our events because it was windy. So make sure that you think about, okay, duct tape, scissors, always in your Rubbermaid tub, you want to have a electrical cord because you might have to get a ways to an outlet. So make sure and have your electrical cord. What else needs to go in there? I have chosen to do flip kits because the first vendor fair I did not have any kits and people wanted stuff right away. They were like, well, can I get something now? And especially those people that want 1 or 2 oils, they're like, well, can I just buy an oil? No, but we have these amazing flip kits. If you have the flip kit there, then they get excited because they can go home with all of it right then. So if you can afford in your paycheck to have a flip kit, it's very beneficial to have it there so that they can sign up and go home with it right away. The next thing I have is to market your event. If you are going to be at a big event, then get the event from Facebook, email, whatever, to make sure you're promoting that you're going to be there. And so when you promote that you're going to be there, you're also promoting the event. And then your friends might see it on Instagram and Facebook, Twitter, whatever you use social media wise. And they say, oh, I forgot that event was happening this weekend. Now I'm going out. So market. Like not a day before, but like at least the week prior, if not 2 weeks, if you can get the event from the people that are hosting it. So help them market your event. And then you definitely, when you get there and you have your table all set up and pretty, you want to go live. And you want to show people, this is where I am. And this is what, show them your table. Go over the stuff that's there because people want to see, what does this crazy chick do when she's at a vendor fair? Show them what you do. Show them your cute little game that people get to play. Show them the starter kit and how your diffuser is going with Christmas spirit in it and how people are drawn in by that smell. It works. Market your event. by shooting live. Go a couple times live while you're there, and then show the other vendors too. It's just a nice business thing to do, to go scan around and show them all the other vendors. So that also lets people know, oh, I've been needing some hair bows. I'm going to come to the hair bows. And I've been needing a Pampered Chef, blah, blah, blah. It just helps, scratch the backs in entrepreneurship for everybody and draws people to come to the event. Sorry, I'm saying a lot. When you're looking at your table, you want to think, what's going to set me apart from every other vendor? One thing I will tell you for sure that I've noticed at every event for me is that I never sit down. You don't sit down behind the table. Why? I know for me, when people are just sitting there, that it doesn't draw me in to want to talk to them. It's easy to kind of meander, look at their stuff, and then oh, thanks. And especially if they're on their phone sitting there, then it's super easy to just walk by and not have to have any eye connection or any chat with them. It tells the person walking by that you really don't care if they buy or not. You don't really care about investing in them as a person. You never know if somebody sitting at or walking by your event might just need a hug. I mean, we had a lady this weekend that we were just I think we just need to be praying for her. So there's multiple reasons people come through, and you just need to be the hands and feet of knowing when to hug, when to do what. But you're never going to know that if you're on your phone sitting down. It just doesn't promote a draw-in experience. And you want your people to experience what you have because it's life-changing. So I also have learned to set up your table from left to right. So the most important thing that you want people to be drawn in by, you need to put that on the left-hand side. So if that's your diffuser, Sometimes I've done my iPad setup, and I have it on Vimeo with Young Living stuff, and it just continuously plays Vimeos from Young Living showing people how to use oils, how the Vitality line, the makeup, the baby, and it just rolls. You can do that, but my premium starter kit is always on the left-hand side because you want them to see that this is what we're focusing on. If you choose what you're going to do and make it very simple. So if you're focusing on the premium starter kit, then that is what needs to be on your table and not everything else. If you do too much, it's too overwhelming for people, and they come up and they're like, I don't really know what's going on here. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be looking at. So you want to keep it real clean and really basic. Basic starter kit is perfect. So if you want to promote the makeup, do the makeup. If you want to promote the cleaning supplies, then do the whole cleaning supplies. But this past vendor fair, we had an extra space behind a whole shelf. And so we did decorate that with the Thieves household cleaner, and that was beneficial because people loved the whole cleaning line. But normally we just have one table. I have learned to always pack an extra table and an extra chair in your car. So if you have an extra 6-foot table, then I recommend bringing it, because you never know when you get there. Sometimes you only get to rent one table space, but when you get there, you might see, oh, I have room. I could do an L shape here with the table. I could use their table and my table and do an L shape. L shapes are really cool because you can draw people into the center and kind of having a moment with them to experience everything. It kind of makes them feel like they're away from the event and just with you. So you can even, I've heard people get the squishy pads, like the block pads that little kids, like to play on in playrooms. You can find some cute ones, and they don't have to be the primary colors, but put that down because your feet will hurt. So always wear comfortable shoes. But if you can get some squishy pads and then do an L-shaped table, it's a beautiful thing to bring people into your event. You want to do something else that sets them apart. Yes, standing in front of your table and talking to people that walk by, it totally sets you apart, I promise you. The next thing is I've done balloons. I've gotten purple and green and gold balloons and done a bouquet, super cheap. Just some Mylar balloons, or not even Mylar, what's the latex balloons? Just done that on the left-hand side that features the starter kit, and it's all the goodness is over here. And I've done a vendor fair where moms come. It was a mom and daughter event. It was like a Girl Scout event. And so I did hand massages for free. I said, we're doing free hand massages today. And I took my lavender lotion and I squirted a little bit in my hand. And you guys, I saw moms just melt. I don't even know how to give a hand massage. But I just did what the ladies do when you get your nails done. I did that all the way up to their elbow. I saw them melt. And that's a great way to make the walls come down. We moms don't love on ourselves enough. And so by them just standing there and letting somebody love on them, I saw the walls come down. They just listened, and I asked them questions, and it was a great time to just have a conversation as they chilled out a little bit. So that is great, a great one to bring them in. Another great one to bring them in is, hey, come spin the wheel. We made our little fidget spinner wheel spinner, and they can win orange oil, they can win Epsom salt, they can win a car diffuser. So what do they win by? How does that work? Let me tell you. Orange oil, I already do the tiny little sample bottles of orange oil, and I got some unicorn confetti from Amazon with the little purple mesh bag, and I just put that in there. Now, you can hand them your business card with that so they know how to contact you. I also did some Epsom salt, and it's like less than a cup of Epsom salt in a little tiny bag from the Daiso, which is our dollar store. And then I take them over to the starter kit, and I say, you get to choose from our starter kit which oil you want to put in your Epsom salt. So you get to go home and do a foot soak or a bath tonight. And so they get to choose. They put it 2 or 3 drops in there. We shake it up, and I have my labels of all my contact information. It's labeled on the bag, so they go home with that. And then the homemade diffuser, it's felt. So it's a strip of felt. It's way skinnier. It's like maybe like this big, and it's just strips, and I make it fun. I say, oh my goodness, you get to choose your color, and I show them a pile of felt, and they get to choose their color. And then I say, now you get to choose your oil. What oil do you want to put on your car diffuser? And they choose, and then I say, okay, now stick this in your purse. It's going to smell really good in your purse. But when you get to the car, you're going to thread this through your air conditioner vent, and it's going to flap in the wind as from the air when the car turns on. It's going to make your car smell fabulous. They love it. So every single person goes home with something oily, because if they can't experience the oils, how are they going to know that they want the oils? So during that time, when we're going through all those moments of spinning the wheel, I said, hey, we're also doing a giveaway today. If you want to win one of these sugar scrubs. So this was the first time I brought it down a few notches. I didn't give away big product items. I just said, hey, we're doing a raffle once an hour. We'll draw a name, and you could win one of these sugar scrubs. So sugar is cheap and olive oil is cheap. I just made sugar scrubs, used Christmas spirit in it, and tied a bow around it with some cute little fabric, and it was just a jar of sugar scrub. People gave me their information. You never want people to leave your table without acquiring their information. So another great way people like to use their phones is to say, hey, I'm on Facebook or Instagram. Which one is your favorite? They tell you, and they go, oh my goodness, let's be friends. Okay, so then mine's not working. Would you mind? I don't know what's working. The Wi-Fi's here is bad. Would you mind sending me a friend request? You know why? Because then you get to accept it. If you send them a friend request, they get to accept it, and then guess what? You may never get to talk to them because they don't have to accept your friend request. But if you get to accept it, then you can be friends and chat about, hey, it was so fun to meet you. What was your favorite takeaway from coming by my booth? Tell me what you learned. So those are great things. I had a lady that sat next to us the entire vendor fair on Saturday, and she said she learned so much. And I said, okay, well, thank you. She goes, no, I've been a part of a couple other MLMs, and I really like what I see from you guys. You just were intentional about giving every single person a gift. Everybody got something. And I said, yeah. She said, and you're really good at listening. And so I said, would you mind just telling me what your takeaways are? So you say that you learn things, but I'd love to know what you're learning. And so she told us 3 things. It was very encouraging and good for the team to hear. So let's see, what else? Yes, always collect their info. You always want to have your next class information, so people say, I can't stand here and listen today, but I do want to learn more. When is your next class? Oh, I would love for you to come to my next class. And then you say, here's my piece of paper with all my classes for the month of November. And this is, the one I would recommend for you because we were talking about babies. Maybe you'd like to come to the babies and oil class. When she's given you her information, don't put it in the drawing box until she's walked away. Because During that time when you're listening, you're holding her information. It helps because sometimes you forget to introduce yourself. So you can look at her name and go, oh, Becky, oh, I can't wait to see you at baby class when she's walking away. Very helpful. And then when she walks away, you take your pen and you write on the back, Erica, or you write your initials, E, and then baby class has eczema. I don't know, but a little note about that person, because that makes it more personable when you follow up. Because we forget, after standing there for 3 to 4 hours, this past week it was 8 hours. That is a long time to stand and talk to people, and by the end of the time you're like, I don't know, I'm Stacy somebody and I don't know who she is or what she even looks like. But if you wrote notes down, then you know. And it also helps if you have multiple people coming to the table, multiple team members. Then at the end, when you're dividing up follow-up, who's going to contact who, you have your initials on yours and so-and-so's initials on theirs. Oh yeah, you talked to Jimmy, here's Jimmy's. You're going to follow up with Jimmy. He wants to learn about the men line, so it helps. So it's very important to do that. I talked about the games and hand massages. The next thing is your excitement determines their excitement. So if you're like, yeah, here's some oils in a starter kit, and tell me, can I just tell you about it? No one wants to listen. And they sure don't want to listen if they walk up and you instantly start telling them, we have this military starter kit, and you just go into a whole sales pitch. You become extremely salesy, and they've checked out. You guys, I've done it multiple times, because after standing there for a while, you just become kind of robotic. And so you kind of need to hit yourself over the head, or drink some Ningxia, or bring a nitro, or take a time out. If you have enough team members there, you can say, I need to go eat and have some water. So I'm going to go eat my protein. Always bring water and always bring protein, because you need both to stand there and talk that long. So that, and then your excitement, drawing them in. When they come by the table, they get kind of awkward because you're the first person that's standing out there to talk to them. So you say, hey, I love your purse, or, oh my goodness, where did you get that shirt? Breaks down a little bit of the girl barrier if you're talking to women. And then I know men come by too, so use your man ways to talk to them too. But that helps. And then sometimes just saying, hey, tell me what you know about essential oils. Then they start talking, and maybe they say, oh, not much. Or, oh, girl, I've been using oils for years. Okay, awesome. Tell me more. Oh, yeah. What company do you use? Or if they don't know anything, that's okay. I didn't know much. Tell me, there's got to be one thing you know. Tell me one thing. And then let them tell you. And then while they're talking, say, oh my goodness, girl, you have got to smell orange oil. Have you smelled orange oil? Come here. While you're telling me, like, have you smelled Young Living's orange? And then let them smell it. Let them really take it in. And if you want, you can say, and if you don't do a hand massage and you don't do a game and you're like, those aren't my jam, grab one of your oils from the starter kit. Orange is not one of them, I know, and say, here, give me your hand. I bet you've had a stressful day. You got some kids running around here. I don't know, like whatever. Look at where they're presenting and then work with that. So if they have a bunch of kiddos, or if they're out by themselves, say, girl, you probably got out of the house by yourself without the kiddos. I'm just guessing. But this is a moment. We need to have a moment together. So put some oil in their hand, 2 to 3 drops. Let's rub it together. Show them how easy it is. And while they're doing this and they're rubbing, you say, did you know there's 3 main ways to get oils into your system? I'll tell you while you breathe in. Just breathe in and breathe out. I want you to try to breathe at least 5 times, okay? And then you're telling them, hey, you're doing infusion. You're infusing the oil like a diffuser does, but you don't have to have a diffuser to just use what you got. So if you got your oils in your purse, you can do this when you're having a stressful moment, or if you're needing to just take a little nap while you wait for the kids at one of their practices. Breathe in and breathe out. Don't you feel calmer already? All right, now that we're calm, all right, what else do you like? Ask them question after question after question and listen to them. Be intentional in listening, because you will hear things that you will just know, okay, I know how to answer that, but maybe now's not the time. But when I follow up with them, I know what, you mentioned that you have blah, blah, blah. Let's talk about that. Or how about we get together for coffee and let's talk. Your kiddos are getting a lot of mosquito bites and you wanted a natural way to deal with that. Let's get together. How about this week? What day this week? let them know I have Thursday and Friday afternoon open. Which of those 2 days work for you? So that you don't just say just for the week. You bring it down to your days that you're available. So you're kind of calling the shots on your time, and you're letting them know, like, I mean business. Like, this isn't just like, maybe we'll do it or maybe we won't, because then they're like, she's not that serious. Okay. Don't let them scare you. I used to get super freaked out. People come by and they're like, one person was like, oh, can't do that. I can't do that. And I was like, why not? I have a cat. And the husband was like, I want oils. Like, it was kind of sad because he really did want oils, but his wife said, and they kept walking. Don't let that freak you out. Just be like, that's sad. That's just lack of education. And I could chase after that, or I couldn't. And I'm not going to, because it's not their time yet. Other people, I love this when they say this. I don't do scents. I don't do scents. Meanwhile, when you get closer to them, you'll hear people say, I can't do that smell. I can't do that. But the diffuser's going full blast. And so my goal is to get them from walking away to slowly over to the table, slowly to the diffuser area, and just carry on a conversation. And they don't even realize that the oils are working for them because they're not aware of what it's doing in their brain. But I am. And so I'm just listening. And then, like, when they walk away, I'm a hugger. Sometimes I'll say, I'm a hugger. Thanks so much for sharing. And, I hope that we can get pie. Throw those candles out, because candles, they are not doing you any favors. And people are like, oh, they don't even know. But when you hug them, or when you're just standing there talking to them, and there are people that tell you, I don't do scents, but yet you can smell the chemicals in their hair products, their perfume. You can even smell the laundry detergent on their clothes, but yet they don't do scents. It's very interesting. It's just lack of knowledge. So speak to them in a way that tells them, that's okay. Like, you want to just spin the wheel over here on this side of the table? Maybe you can win a prize. And then they win Epsom salt, and you're like, hey, you get to go home and take a hot bath. They get to put oils in their hot bath. It's super fun, guys. So just learning, these are things that I've learned that I hope you can take with you for your next vendor event. Don't be scared of vendor events, and definitely don't be scared of the people and the weird things they say. Just roll with them and don't let it bog you down or think, see, there's no reason I should be here. These people don't even want what I have. They totally want what you have. They just don't know it yet. So you've got to find a way to get that to that point. Always, always, always bring a laptop. I take my iPad because I have a little laptop situation with my iPad, and ask the vendor that's running the whole event, hey, do you know if there's going to be Wi-Fi? If there's no Wi-Fi, then make sure everybody has their phones charged good, because we have signed people up at Easter egg hunts and used our phones because that's all we had. So if they are going to have Wi-Fi, you need to know that. And if not, make sure you tell your team, bring your phones and make sure they're fully charged. It doesn't hurt for you to also have a charger in your Rubbermaid tub that we talked about. Okay, flip kits. I don't remember if I even talked about that. I think I already talked about that. I'm a little delirious. Sorry, flip kits people want them. So if you can invest in one flip kit and have it there so people can take the product home, take their starter kit home. And if you have the time, I had the time this weekend. So I sat down with them at the laptop. We signed people up. And then when the other team members are at the table doing their thing, you're over there going over, hey, this month our team's talking about emotional health. So here's a handout on emotions. Hey, and then here's my class list, like, of all the classes we're offering within our team for the next blah, blah, blah months. And make sure they know where that's at in their bag. And then here is all the ways to get a hold of me, and that's in your bag. And then, do you know how to run your diffuser? Let's go over that really quick if you don't. Here, let's pull it out. And you just show them. Or you go to the diffuser at the table and you show them from the diffuser that's going how to fill it up, how many drops. I can't reiterate enough, low and slow, because people have reactions to toxins. And so saying low and slow, maybe just start with 1 or 2 drops, because that is what's going to be good for you when you first begin your journey. But don't worry, you'll get to 5 or 8 eventually, but let's just start with 1 or 2. Show them. People don't know this. I get comments about this. They don't know that when they open up their kit, that there's the 10 oils in the front, and if they pull that up, that underneath there's the Ningxia Red, there's the mints, there's all the goodies underneath. many people have messaged me like, I don't think I got what you sold me because there's not everything in here. So make sure and open it. You've got to look in there. The next thing is tablecloth. It just looks pretty. Have a couple tablecloths. I just used sheets. And when I first started out, I went to the local, what's it called? What is it called? The thrift store. I went to the thrift store and I bought like a gold sheet and a black sheet, and I rolled with it for like a couple years. And then I realized, it's probably something I could afford in my paycheck at this point to order a couple tablecloths from Amazon. You can also order tablecloths that have Young Living's banner on it. Totally up to you on how you want to do it. But I just have a purple tablecloth and a black tablecloth right now. When I got to the event, they already had a tablecloth on my table. It was wonderful. I didn't have to worry about that. So ask your person that's hosting the event, hey, are there going to be tablecloths at the event? Because, I was just wondering if there is. Perfect. And then simple setup. Just keep it simple, simple, simple. I know there'll be more questions, but I just wanted to give this to the team here because I know there's several vendor events that are coming up here in the next 3 months. Contact your PTA if your kids are in school. If your kids are not in school, you still can contact the PTO or PTA and say, I know there's a Christmas holiday, event coming up, and I would love to have my oils there at the event. Who do I need to contact? And they'll put you in contact with the right people. So don't think just because you're a homeschool mom or whatever that, you can't go and attend those groups. Get on those groups. Find them on Facebook. Find them and find the events. So that's all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it's very helpful to you. Have a great day.